Shinri, good morning, or is it good morning for you right now?
Yes, it's pretty early in the morning for me. So, good morning.
Well, thank you for taking the time, Shinri. So, if I understand correctly, your upcoming release is The Lone Wanderer again. It comes out in a couple of days. Can you tell me more about The Lone Wanderer again?
Oh, The Lone Wanderer is actually my it's my 3D debut. And here at HoloStars, it's a pretty big celebration event. The little transition between the 2D avatars that we kind of stream as daily, and then entering into the third dimension to kind of join the same dimension as the viewers who watch SR. So it's a pretty big event. This one actually happened last year. To be honest. And we had a really big celebration. A lot of those generally are some kind of performances by the talents, either showcasing some of their skills. So a few of the talents will be singing and performing basically a concert on stage, while others have this kind of scripted 3D narrative experience where the viewers follow along with the story. And mine kind of has a little bit of a mix of both. Featuring some of the boys from the rest of my branch over here.
Hmm.
And just a little peek into a possible future into what the world of HoloStars English might look like in the far off future. Not like next year, but like way down the line, just to see how things might evolve and adapt over time.
That's a very good point about how things might evolve over time. The level of success that you're at right now, did you think that you were going to reach this level? Because obviously it's going to keep growing.
Uh, to be honest, I didn't really think that at the beginning. And the reason why I say this is I know, at least here in content creation, there's a lot of really loud voices. There's a lot of loud characters which are really bombastic. They have a lot of energy, a lot of expressiveness. And I actually don't think I have that same degree. So I was a little bit worried starting out, knowing that a lot of my content, a lot of my core content is very laid back. It's very low energy. It's very focused on the minor details as opposed to, shouting and screaming and jumping around and, getting into chaos for those like clippable moments. So I was a little bit worried about what the reception would be because loud is something that a lot of the viewers are kind of used to. They expect you to have a really big personality. And I didn't know if I really compared, but I think all the support and the success I've had so far, all the love and care from the viewers have really shown that even my brand, which on the first glance might not be as excitable, still has a really big place here in the community. So it's something that I wasn't expecting, but was really glad to have.
Yeah, you have a very unique approach to VTubing, and I would say it's more narrative driven and more immersive content. How far in advance are you planning your content?
When it comes out to some of my more scripted scenes, it'll take me about a week or so to kind of plan things out. I actually approach this like a lesson plan from a teacher, figure out, all right, here are the main objectives. This is what I want to do. Here are the things I'm going to bring out, not necessarily homework, but like
Yeah.
just different kinds of like key points of like, all right, make sure to hit this, make sure to hit that. And then when we end, we're going to wrap up with this summary, make sure that the audience gets everything. When it comes to my video game streams, however, on the other hand, I actually don't prepare too much. I'll take a quick little look at maybe the premise of a game or maybe just the general reception of what the game is. And I kind of want to go into it with a fresh set of eyes, really, to kind of give the audience that like new game experience of like, wow, like we are experiencing this together at the same time. And my reactions are genuine. I'm not like acting things up or hamming things up because like, oh, I know there's going to be a really cool jump scare coming out of this horror game. So like, I better like act it up here. I don't do that kind of stuff. So, video games, first time experience for everything. So, we can all share in the same moment.
It's easy to describe you as a holostar. Some people say holostar, some people say holostar, however you want to say it. Um, but at the same time, you are an entertainer, you are an influencer. How do you want to be thought of or described?
Oh gosh. I think the best way would be uh here, I'll try to find a way to phrase it properly. My community really kind of they kind of bonked me on the head when I say that I'm just old, because they themselves are a bit on the older side as well. So we are pretty much the same age. But the way that I wanted to phrase it was I in my generation here with the rest of the HoloStars boys, I am one of the older members here. Um, and the way that I want to present myself is, even though I may be older than some of the boys, even though I may be, less energetic, I can still carry my own weight. I can still, pull my part and do my own, go on my own little idle dream and journey without all of that. It's never too late to get started on your dreams. It's never too late to start, taking that first step on a journey to 1,000 steps.
Hmm.
And that's kind of where I want to be, and just showing that, like this old dog can learn new tricks, and just being an inspiration to other members who, maybe they picked up a hobby a while back. I've had a lot of my fans told me that they, picked up some creative hobbies again, like art, like, oh, I didn't play this musical instrument, or I haven't drawn in a while, but your streams have been so cozy that they've inspired me to like get back into it again, like restart my journey once more. And that's kind of how I want to be seen by both my fans and for others who might not have seen my content before.
You definitely are more mellow, but you also are into horror. So that's you are a very complex person, Shinri. That's what I'm learning.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's I think one of my favorite things is I personally have a really deep-seated love for horror games. A lot of this comes down to just the the exploration of some, terrible, dark, tragic, and traumatic events that are told,
Hmm.
these stories are told through video games in a safe environment where you can say, if this is too much, I can take a pause and like, all right, let me catch my breath, refocus, recenter, and then get back into the game. So they're not a real threat to you. They're not real harm to you or danger.
Hmm.
So I love these explorations of like the human psyche, how trauma would manifest in someone's mind. And a lot of these games have amazing stories that I feel are glossed over by a lot of creators, because they'll join these games and then they'll play them and focus so much on the jump scares and the horror, and a lot of the nuanced story that the games are trying to tell are overlooked in favor of these sort of, really big set piece moments where a jump scare happens. So my approach to horror is I really enjoy this and I want to calm down. So it's one of those like the audience kind of mirrors back the emotions that you feel. So like if the streamer is terrified and they're scared, then like that nervous anxiety energy gets transferred to viewers and they feel that as well. So by taking a lot slower, calming down and restricting my energy a little bit and focusing on the narrative of the story, we can explore these stories and just, have little conversations about like, oh, like if you were in these situations, what would you do? Like, how would you feel? What kind of emotions would these bring you up? And have those discussions without focusing too much on like the jump scares. And I hope that my calmer demeanor kind of helps the viewers understand that a bit more, so they can think, all right, yes, it is scary, but there's an underlying, there's a great discussion to be had underneath it. So that's the kind of approach that I want to take with these horror game streams.
That is the smartest analysis of horror I think I've ever heard within the video game realm. So thank you for that. And I understand that besides the Lone Wanderer again, that you have another streamer event coming up called Vanguard 3D. Do I have that correct?
Yes. So that one came after our individual debuts. So each of the boys, each of the talents, they'll debut their own 3D little showpiece or showcase. And afterwards, once all the members of the generation are debuted, once everyone sees each other in 3D, then we have what's called a collaboration event where we all get together and are finally able to interact with each other in 3D. Um, Without giving too much of a spoiler, I would say that the Vanguard 3D collab is definitely something worth watching. We partake in a physical activity that was a very fun and challenging at the same time to practice for. But it does involve pole dancing to a large extent. So if you have ever wanted to see some of your favorite idols pole dancing around, without giving away anything else, I'll just leave it at that. Please do check it out.
So what I'm understanding is that you never know what to expect or when to expect it from Shinri.
Uh, yes, and I have to admit that it has only gotten probably, well, I would say better, but maybe some of my fans would say worse over time. As I have gone on my own idol journey here, as I've been streaming for the past couple of years, I started out a little bit reserved and I tried to play it, close to my chest and safer. But as I've gotten more comfortable, not just with myself and my content and with the audience, I have learned to let go a little bit, but then that also leads to some out of pocket comments from time to time.
Sure. Well, two quick questions and then I'll let you go. And the first one is, do you think that there's anything that anyone has wrong about Shinri? Is there something you wish more people knew about Shinri?
Oh, well, if you wouldn't mind me using this opportunity to kind of clear the air, I think
Please.
I may have gone a little bit too hard in portraying myself as the normal one of the branch. I want to say that there's a bit more craziness, a bit more freakiness underneath that I think I should have shown a bit more and showcased a bit more. But I know there's a big misconception to say, when they come over to Shimmy, think, oh, he's gonna be the normal one. He's gonna be like everyone else is crazy. He's kind of like the normal person. I am very much not. Although the things that I would say would probably get me bonked because my manager is right here. So probably can't say exactly why, but I would say yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll just leave it at
Okay.
that.
And the last question, Shimri is obviously a fashionable person.
Thank
Will
you.
we ever see a Shinri fashion line or the clothes that Shinri wears that everyday people can buy in a store or an e-commerce site?
Ooh. Well, to be honest, I don't wear, well, outside of my usual jacket, I don't think too many things that are so far out there that you wouldn't be able to find some kind of a budget version of. For example, this is just a simple orange button-up shirt.
Well,
My other
I don't
outfits
have any
involve
orange button-up shirts, so I'm giving you credit for taking a risk right there.
I did worry that it was a little bit too loud. The colors were a little bit too bright there because to be honest, I don't like attracting too much attention to myself. But I do have to give a shout out to my companions for giving me the confidence to kind of embrace it a bit more and be a little bit more out there and loud. So just a big love and thank you to them.
Well, what I've learned today, there are a lot of events to come. There's a lot of content to come. There's a lot of collaborations to come. So, what is the best way for everyday people to track Shinri's appearances, Shinri's collaborations, etc.? Is it an Instagram? Is it just YouTube?
Right now, the best place to go, the place that I'm most active on is on Twitter.
Hmm.
So if you would like to follow along with us, please check us out. I'm on Twitter. I have a YouTube channel, and those are the two places that you can find me the most, where I'm most active. I post pretty regularly to my community as well. So if you'd like to follow up on like the weekly schedules and theories about like, hey, let's figure out what kind of game that we want to play together this month, that's where you'll find me there.
Well,
Oh,
thank you for your
as well as
time.
the rest of the boys too. Yeah. So please check
Yeah,
them out and support the rest of the boys as well.
we'll do. We'll link to that. And in the, thank you for your time and looking forward to what's to come from you and team.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.